Okay, so this event is live now on YouTube. I just want to ensure that everybody can hear me. The voice note is clear and you can see this screen. What you can do is ask me any question at any point in time. And if anybody that join, okay, I just had to sort the because I was hearing myself from YouTube at the same time. So that has been muted now. Sorry about it. Okay, so let's go ahead. You can stop at any point in time. If you have any question, just ask me or just say hello, and I will give you an audience to speak. Or if you feel comfortable to type, you can type, but at the same time, it will notify me that someone is typing the question. Then I'll look at that. Or when we get to the end, we have opportunity to ask as many questions as possible. I don't want to take much of your time. I respect the fact that you have joined, and also respect your time as well. I know people are very busy doing different things, so I'm going to be smart. If I'm too fast, just tell me you are too fast. If I'm too slow, and as well tell me that I'm too slow. I should hasten up. Okay. So it's about Gehub Development College. A few years ago, I used to call it Gehub before. That is Global Entrepreneurship Hub. The responsibility we allocate to ourselves is to ensure that we support graduate employability and graduate entrepreneurship. So there are only two things that we do. Every other thing revolves around these two things: employability and entrepreneurship. And the idea is because for myself and my team, we want to see what we can do to support a set of people. And I will talk about this set of people as we go along. So for today, basically, I want to introduce you and the other person that will attend this event to our training student. That means what we have in terms of our courses, development programs that we have designed or we are designing that will help you reshape your thinking about your own development. All right, so that is what we want to do today. Before I do that, I'll briefly take some time to introduce myself. For people who know me, you know who I am, but if you are meeting for the first time, it will be an opportunity to introduce myself to you. And I'm really happy that you have come. And it will be nice to have you in this team, and we continue to grow like that together. Okay, so my name is Justin Udie. I am a senior lecturer and academic mentor at Nottingham Business School. That's Nottingham Trent University. You can put that on Google and see what the university is about, or what we do at the university. I'm a fellow of higher education academia and a member of Energy Institute, London and the UK, and so many others. I just have put a selected few. I'm a consultant in development as well as climate change and carbon management. So in addition to doing these for Global Entrepreneurship Hub, I'm also a carbon management consultant, which is not the reason why we are here today. So my email address is here. The website for this organization is there. The WhatsApp number for GHOP. If you want to check myself or this organization on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, for me, it's just my name consistently, Justin Udia. If you see my face, you see it somewhere because there are so many other Justin Udias out there and Justins as well. Okay. So I'm a community developer. I think that's what I'm very proud of myself. And I'll show you a few pictures about the things I have done in terms of community development in the past. Just a selected few that I am proud of that have got recognition. First, it was having a community award during my national youth service. It's going to be revolve around that the year of national youth service, basically. where I got the title after serving my community, the place where I live, and contributing some outstanding development needs that addresses their problems. So this was a recognition, and thereafter, in June 2011, I got a state governor's award for also serving the community. So that picture shows the state secretary to the state government who represented the then governor of Niger State during our passing out parade. And of course, got also to the pinnacle of it. I got award from the government of Nigeria, then presented by the president, of course, Dr. Goodluck Bele Jonathan, in January 2012 at the Asurok Villa. And also the next one was at the Nigerian High Commission in London, where we're discussing issues around young people in Nigeria. So that was where I had the presentation with the former president of Nigeria. I will call him Dr. Yakubu Gowon now. And the other side was the then High Commissioner to London, Tafida. So I've been around trying to help communities and develop them and contribute to young people's lives as much as I contribute to my own self, because in doing so, I progress myself. In doing so, I equip myself, and I continue to share what I know will help people with others. Okay. So that is just a brief, but today it's not about me, it's about what we have in store to be supporting people from now going forward. So it's about these trainings that are listed here. Some of them have been well advanced that we can on the go support people once call upon, or weekly or fortnightly. I will discuss that in detail much later. So personal discovery, personal development, continuing professional development, bespoke mentoring, academic skills and development, introduction to the future of work, women in the future of work, migration, immigrants and the future of work, entrepreneurship in knowledge economy. I'll speak on this briefly as we go on. Then trends and predictable surprises and managing worst case scenarios. All of these are developed from experience and some of the best materials you can get on in the world. And I'm not joking when I said some of the best materials in the world, because we have this access and purchase from Harvard Business Reviews, MIT Sloan Business, as well as Cambridge Business. Those are materials we rely on because we're not just looking at what we give, we're looking at accreditation that's in the UK we have to go through before we're able to provide this kind of course and offer or issue a certificate to anybody. So in terms of why we do this, the question is why do we choose to do this? The idea is to help our clients, basically mostly students, maybe early careers and graduate, to discover or rediscover themselves, to provoke future thinking mindsets by revealing emerging trends that could affect them or affect the future of their work or career or profession, aid understanding of employability, career and professionalism, and equip clients with global employability power tools of the future. And lastly, support minority groups and migrants, for those who are living in the UK, to settle into their dreams. Their dreams, what? It could be their dream jobs, it could be their maybe a dream career, if you put it that way, or lifestyles that they want to live when they move into another economic system. So that is the reason. And our focus, like we said, is students. Like I've said, is students, graduates, and people in their early careers, okay? And as well as those who want to. So between these people, we link them up into the two major objectives that we have proposed, and that is entrepreneurship and employability. So for employability, the definition is being on the job and being able to get another job after that job. So you become employable in chains. It doesn't stop in one place, but there are people that have worked in one place for 20, 25 years. They are still there, and they were going to retire in that kind of position. So if you look at people that have developed or advanced in the world, you hardly find anybody that work in a particular place for a very long time and has got a storyline to tell differently when it comes to achievements in life. Well, achievement is relative, so you can work in one place for 20 years, 25 years, retire and feel fulfilled. But people who have got to break over through that chain, they tend to have an outstanding, maybe, lifestyle compared to others. You can read the biographies of other people and see what they have done, except those who are managing their own business. So now we have identified a few things that I'm bringing to you, but we have these ones in details in the courses about the future of work. And so things that would disrupt the future of work, things that would disrupt a work ecosystem globally, so that if we don't adapt now, if we don't take risk or the possible risks now, it's going to be difficult to get a job or remain in a job in the next few years. And these are technology, the revolution around technology and innovation is disrupting now the work ecosystem. A few years ago, remember, computers were not part of the things we work with in developing countries. But these days, everybody is going to, most people are working with computers. You have a laptop, you have different systems that you are working with. So there was that transitional period where everyone in Nigeria, for instance, had to go through computer training. So even those who were at the top management of their jobs had to go through computer training to be able to fit into their jobs. If Joe is here, Joe, remember when the Osita Chidoka led FRSC came on board that every officer must be trained in IT. So it became mandatory for them to. So what are we going to do in the next years, a few years, when a different system will come on board, because these things are changing. So artificial intelligence is taking over the future of work, population growth and migration, affecting globalization, issues around ethics and corporate social responsibilities are taking over, climate change and global warming, biotechnology. I think just today's Friday, maybe this week in the US, there was a heart transplant, a pig heart transplant between human and animals kind of thing through biotechnology. Okay, so in the future, these things will become even more prevalent. There will be production of the modified human body spare parts, and different things will happen just within ethical margins. So if you are in the field, how is that going to impact you? How about dangerous politics that people play these days all over? In the UK at the moment, energy crisis, prices are going up, partly because of politics between people in different countries. Either it is Russia playing the politics, or it is the people in the UK or EU or NATO. Those interactions, political decisions will impact how people work. I give an example. In the UK, for instance, there is a phenomenon of Brexit. So Brexit is disrupting everything now. There's shortage of so many jobs, shortage in so many occupations. So nurses and short occupation now, or short list doctors, even people who do cleaning. Usually, if those people are in different places, you can get them and say you don't even want to. But because of Brexit, people have returned to their own countries within the EU. So the UK now is struggling with that kind of huge labor gap to fill in. Care workers are not there. This week it was in the news that some people that have been discharged from the hospital cannot go home because they don't have people to care for them. So they rather remain in the hospital than to go to care homes, because there's no one who want to, there are no people to care for them. So carers are in short supply. So that is now how we have to now begin to strategize where you want to go and how you want to go around your employability. So however, the next option is millennials. Millennials, yeah, young people. If you go look at the definition of millennials, people born, I think, between 1992 thereabouts, or the 90s up until now, their mindset is different. Okay, they want things done quickly. They are not people who want to go through any grandiose process of getting things sorted or getting things done in a way. So everything is digital. They want things done in their mobile phones. They want to even drive in their mobile phones. So they prefer to go on metaverse all right, to buy property, that to go to any other place that is physical to buy those properties, because money is now even shifting from physical coins to cryptocurrencies. So how are these issues, maybe millennial mindsets, going to affect the future of work, and how do we deal with them, is just some of the examples I want to bring to you in the course of this, and tell you that we can provide the necessary support. So I'll talk about now. I give an example. All right. Before now, if you were to apply to become an admin assistant in an organization, generally, what would be the requirements? If you want to apply, before now, a long time ago, you just need to have typing skills. Just need to know how to manage diary, organize meetings for your boss or whoever is there, and have basic computer skills. There was not even computer; it was like basic typewriting skills. That's what you needed back in the days to be an admin assistant or admin clerks, as they used to call them. But today, what do you need? There's a whole lot that you need to. You need to have extensive IT and communication skills and know how to use MS, that's Microsoft Word packages. You need to have a coordinating senior leadership figure in multiple locations, and how to arrange online webinars like we are doing now. Admin, if I had an admin, the person should be able to coordinate the whole of this and set the meeting for the boss to come and run. You need to know how to do that. Problem solving and prioritization of events in a diary, so that has taken over the previous diary management thing. Critical thinking and ability to initiate things, ability to work in teams, and being multitasking. So you can do two or three things about the same time: typing an email, receiving a call, and being in one meeting, and maybe sending emails at the same time. So all of these now have become the skills you need to be what I will call in quotes an admin or a common admin assistant, like a messenger in an office who is supposed to maybe run errands. You now need certain skills. So in the future, how would that be? And comparing this with where you are or where the people you know are, where do you think in your profession you will be? That is a question. So if you are a new graduate, or you are serving maybe NYSC for those who are in Nigeria, or you're about to graduate from the university, the question now is, how are you going to go about this? How would you be able to adapt in that way? So if you are here, maybe if we continue this program with us and you sign up, it will be of benefit. Then we'll put you in the right position where you will be and compete effectively in the future that we anticipate. So just to give you a few testimonial of what the people I support as part of my mentoring in the university. This picture is some the student I started with like 3 years ago. So they graduated last summer. In their class, this is just a cross section of them. In their class, over 80% of them got their desired jobs before graduation. All right. So they got their job before summer of last year. They came in to me like some, young students who will come from high schools or what they call secondary school. And they came to year one. I was the academic mentor. And the idea was we had to drive all of these students and make them employable after 3 years of their degree. So they have BA, BM, you see it's written behind them, Bachelor in Business Management. So by the end, towards the end of their program, over 80% got their jobs. And this was a program where they were celebrating. They bought gifts for me anyway, some chocolate things that I brought to my house. So we're all happy. The balance of the less than 20, not just because they wanted to, they decided not to work. They want to take some time off and travel and see what the rest of the world is before they come back and settle. So if all of them were looking for jobs, by the time they were graduating, I would assume that at least 90% or more would have got a place where they wanted to work. And how did that happen? Through exactly what I am going to talk about in the rest of this program going forward. And if you'll be able to join, we have the tools, we can one-to-one get over, and you see where you want to be. And after maybe some months, if you don't feel comfortable, you can log off and don't come back again. But I'm sure that it's going to work. I met this guy in a place where when I was doing my PhD. I used to go and do part-time work in student accommodation. He is from Delta State, Nigeria. And because I'm from Nigeria too, we got talking, and he was telling me about his progress and how he's been trying to apply for job where he is working in the university, and he's not been really fortunate uh, to get promoted. So I examined his situation all around, and I told him that, look, they're not going to promote you, and you can't get any other job apart from what you are doing. And he's been doing that as at that time for a very long time, more than 6 years. I think more than even 8 years. I told him that you won't be promoted. He said, why? I said, you don't have the necessary requirements to convince these people that you are serious in life. So he asked me, what do you want me to do? I said, resign, stop working here and go to school. He was like, it was the worst advice to have given him. He thought that was ridiculous. I told him just to resign, go and go to school. Then you'll get a job, better job. With your experience and skills, you'll get a better job. So he did not take the advice. So he left until the pandemic hit. Then he lost that job. Then he called me on phone. Then I left the city where we used to be. I was in Leicester. Then I left Leicester. He rang me and I said, what happened? He said that he lost that job. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? I advised him. I said, that same advice I gave you some 3 years ago is the same thing you have to do now. Go back to school. So he did. As at that time, under duress. You see, they said animals work best when they're under pressure. So because of the pressure, he had family. He needed to now see his career, take it personally. He went back to school. All right. And I was his mentor throughout his period. He did a top of program degree and finished it. Towards the end of finishing that degree, he brought his CV. I looked at it, optimized it, gave him a LinkedIn optimization as well, and asked him that, look, you can now go and apply. Guess where he's working now? He's a team manager. He's a team manager and he's very happy. So during his graduation, he insisted that I must come. And I was happy to identify with him on this day of his graduation. Okay. So that is just one of them, or a few things I will tell you about things I have done and maybe helping people to achieve theirs. And I've not without me moving, I have my own story that I've been, building, and it's helped me move from one job to another up until where I am now, and I know exactly where next I want to go. Okay, so the world is changing. So imagine a world where employees discover skill gaps and address them, right? Proactively and immediately. Just imagine that you discover a skill gap and you're able to address that immediately and proactively. So learning and applying new skills in this manner doesn't just keep employees engaged and motivated. It helps your company, your organization stay competitive and can adapt to these changes. So your ability to close your skill gap will help your organization to remain competitive, to compete with others, and the value you are adding is what drives organization. All right. So today we now need to redefine our purpose, have principle-led approaches, evidence-led, evidence-based, and outcome-driven kind of mindsets that will together have what we would like to call give you a core knowledge, behavior, and a specialist knowledge that you need to adapt in the present and the future work ecosystem. Okay, so our trainings are divided into 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one is all about development that is focused on the students. So we have plenty of tools and tests we are going to give to people who sign up to help them reshape and focus their development, plan it in a way that it will make sense to them and the future. Then the second is focus on academic skills. I will explain that. And the other one, look at the future of work for general introduction to future work, women and the future of work, migration, immigrants. I think I've spoken about this. Let me go down and talk about them briefly, what they contain, so that we have time for questions. So now the first thing under that is under the personal and under the first curriculum is personal branding. So what we do here is to first let people understand their skill gap. All right. And we don't do that by only Q&A. There are exercises and tools we have designed to help you measure your skill gap and do what they call a gap analysis. Okay. After that, there are some people, even up until their final years, when we interact with them as students, they said, I don't really know what I want to do. There are a lot of people like that. So they don't have an idea what they are really good at and what they can do best. So we have tools that we could help discover, also we can discover, or some other people that have missed their way. Then we do a rediscovery exercise, where we can refocus them and get them on the direction where they actually want to go. That is on both career and personal discovery. Then if you have a CV, we can look at that. I know this is CV cover letters. There are a lot of people who do that. So if you choose to do it with them, fine. I've done it for people and they've got to where they wanted to go, including the few that I've showed you. If some of my students have joined, they would have testified to that. If you have a CV, if you have a cover letter and how to write it, you can look at that. Then social media for career and mature purposes. And I've interacted with people, especially from my home. Not too many people are on LinkedIn. So how would you be a graduate? You don't have a LinkedIn account. I know there are even academics that don't have a LinkedIn account, but in the world that is driven by social interaction, you live in isolation if you don't have an established social media presence that is communicating what you do to people and letting people know what is happening around you. I know people use it for different purposes and show different things, but for academic and career purposes, you can tailor this social media in a way that it will suit you. So we can help people the same way I did for Tuesday that I showed you, go the same way I'm doing for this year. I have so many students. One of the modules, they're over 900. In the other modules, they're about 40, and the other ones, about 140. And in each of these, we allocate them to other colleagues and we lead them through designing their CVs and making their LinkedIn profile really discoverable and interesting to employers. So under development strata, we have types of development. Personal development is there, career development, professional development, academic development for students who are still writing papers or writing letters. And we also have structures to help people set their SMART goals, measuring achievements. And to give example, is about myself, about SMART goals. When I did convocation, so what they call matriculation in University of Calabar in 2003, I think, when I got into school, someone gave me a diary as a gift, as a welcome to university. And in front of that diary, I wrote everything that I was going to achieve until I'm 40 years old. And I tie it to age. And I follow that diary consistently. The only difference in any of them is either plus or minus 2 years. So I wrote the year I'm going to graduate from university. I put my age. When I'm going to have a master's degree, I put my age. When I'm going to get married, I put the age. When I'm going to have a PhD, I put the age. For instance, for PhD, I said if I am above 40 years, I won't go to school again. Okay, and I mean that till now. Once I'm 40 years, the only thing I can do is professional development training. I'm not going to sit under anybody to give me assignment for any academic um, any academic papers, and that is what has happened. So I got my PhD some maybe 2 years or 3 years ago. So that's happened. I was far below 40, and I got married. I think it was plus 2 years according to my own plan. I got my master's was plus 1 year according to my own plan. But everything was focused, and I needed that. I knew that I was going to like teaching, and I planned to be a lecturer when I was in the secondary school, my last year, that is SS3. That was when I started planning to be a lecturer. Today I am a senior lecturer in my school. So nothing happened without planning and effective, followership of what has been planned. So that's why we help people here on development planning and how they could plan. Then for CPD, what they call continuing professional development, is relevant to everybody who is on a development roadmap. So whether you're already employed or you plan to be employed, you are a student, you need professional development. Now, if you are in school and you know that when you finish school, they're going to ask you of certain years of experience. Where do you get these experiences from? They're going to ask you. You are a graduate, so why should somebody be mad to say that a graduate should have 2 years of experience at minimum? They know, employers know. The employers want somebody to come and learn in their office. Okay, there are graduate schemes that you can go. Those are grad schemes, so they know that this person is a novice and need to. Those are created for graduates to learn within 2 years before you can take others. For people doing PhDs, you also have postgraduate schemes. So, PhD, post PhD that you can take before you can get into maybe university provider to become a researcher or to become a lecturer. So in any of these, there are transitional periods, and you need to plan carefully on how to. So that's why we are looking at CPD and training people on strategic CPD planning. What are the sources of CPDs? Example, part-time work, or example, volunteering. Volunteering, a job experience is not only on a paid job, okay? So you can volunteer to work in a hospital and just help them run around in the hospital. If you know you are going to work in the hospital, if you're in the university, spend your time in a related environment for free. Walk to your house if you can. If the people are good, kind enough to give you transport stipends, take that, but make it as a sacrifice about yourself, not about the people. When towards the end of my PhD, I approached my supervisor and said I was ready to help her teach project management. And she gave me an excuse that there is no money allocated to pay me extra. And I told her, don't worry, if you believe that I can do it, give me, I will do it for free. She believed me. She gave me that opportunity, and I started teaching project management to final year students. So what happened? I was building my skills. A few months after that, there was a job for associate lecturership in Castle Business School, and I applied for it using the arguments that I've been teaching the final year students. And I passed that interview. They gave me the job. And that now was a paid job. They were paying about 47 pounds per hour, thereabout. But how could I have gone to that length or to that extent in the first place, passing through the interview and getting a job I merited without having to volunteer? So now when it was time for me to get a full-time job, I had to leverage on so many things, from teaching with my supervisor for free to the part-time job and other CPDs to be able to apply for a full-time that I got. And I got that job even before I finished my PhD. All right. So you need to be strategic in planning. And I always talk about it using my own example and the people I've worked with and other colleagues to support you and said, yes, you can leverage on that. So you need to show evidence. How do you show evidence of experience? Networking is very important. If you don't know people, or the people you know are only your family members, then you are in trouble. Okay. If you know only your family members, you are really in trouble because except your family members will take you to where you go, then you don't have a problem. But if you want to, you have to break even, and make friends from other places to be able to go to where you want to go. You need a good network. You need employability skills. Okay, you need to do certain things. Nobody employs somebody to come and sleep in the office to come and teach. If they want to teach people, they go to school and learn, or you go to centers where you learn and learn. So you need also digital learning platforms, and there are free, so many of them that are even free for people to join and learn of this. So the next is academic skills. A lot of people struggle, from my experience, students struggle with academic skills a lot. Everybody, not so even myself, when I used to write these days, I give to people to help me proofread and check if my arrangement is correct, if my referencing and citation meets the requirements, and if the criticality of my arguments makes certain sense. So it's something that it takes time to build that. So we help people with that in their written assignment. But what I don't do is write assignment for anybody. It's just to tell you and advice on what you can do in terms of structure and developing argument, but not to sit down and write it. Writing critically is what is important. Is required. Referencing for academics, that is, you cannot do without it. Presentation, how do you build your confidence? So what we do is give you a task, you come back and present. You stand before a class and present. Nobody learned this by being shy or by not practicing their skills, especially when, excuse me, when it has to do with presentation. For the first time in my life that I made a presentation, it was a flop. That was in Coventry University in 2012. I think September 2012 or October, thereabout. It was an absolute failure. Okay, I didn't know exactly, but now I can go to anywhere and make the presentation. I build confidence. I practice it over and over, and I also know the things I want to present. So we help young people and people who want to understand, learn how to present and manage their audience. So that is part of what we do. Next, I'll talk about is the future of work, which is very interesting to me. I spoke about this briefly before. We have three segments of the future of work: introduction to the future of work generally, which we look at those things I've mentioned before that will disrupt the global work ecosystem. um, the next is graduates and the future of work, the course you are studying. A few days ago, I wrote on Facebook that if you are still going to school to study international relations, to study mass communication, to study all those courses with sweet names that give you some kind of mentally, they tell you these courses make you feel that okay, when you finish from here, you'll be assuming you study international relations, or you become an international person or a diplomat. It doesn't make sense. Okay. However, if you study these courses, then you need now to add something to it. For instance, what is the niche? How would artificial intelligence, for instance, be used in international relations? You need to figure it out. What will be the impact of maybe climate change, and how would you studying international relations address the problem of climate change? You need to figure it out. Okay. So that is the position of the world. That mix of the things you need to do to address the problem and meet with contemporary issues is what is important. So people today want to look at things that are needed. Don't go to the university and just study anything. You need to be careful. Watch out the future before you get into studying. For me, as a person, the only mistake I made before was to go to University of Calabar and study biotechnology and genetics. And between that time up until now, I've moved through like three areas until now. But it wasn't a mistake, because today biotechnology is still listed by folks as one of the areas that will disrupt the future of work. So if I don't get a job from here, I can still go back to biotechnology. It's still relevant. But halfway through, oil became something that was so, like the big deal in Nigeria. Oil was selling at 130 or 30 or more dollars per barrel. So, and then Nigerian government said they will need to build local content capacity to be able to. So I thought, okay, this was something. So I went to Coventry University, and I had the choice of studying oil and gas management. Towards the end of it, I dabbled into another module that was talking about the future of oil and gas. And we knew that climate change was going to have impacts on it. So I said, okay, instead of going into this oil and gas thing, let me look at climate change. So my PhD was now tailored around climate change. I was coming from biotechnology to oil and gas management and to climate change. And now I found myself teaching business. I'm in the business school, teaching business strategy. Okay. And why is that? Because the world now is going to be knowledge driven and is based on business, and business people. If you do business, then you can break even and have more money. And now teaching, I'm beginning to think also that I think I needed something, because there are a lot of interesting things happening around climate change and carbon management. That's why I've now had to go through training to become a carbon consultant. Okay, so you need those skills. You need to be able to navigate intelligently, not saying that I'm intelligent, but you need to build your own intelligence to be able to navigate through and understanding where the work ecosystem is moving to and go that direction. The next is women and the future of work. I will discover that there are barriers against women in the future of work, and how to overcome these barriers. The things we focus. Look at now, I'm showing you an example. The things that are happening today, now, as we speak, is what they call the metaverse. The metaverse is an artificial intelligence system that creates a different immersive experience. So if you listen to people who give documentary or conversations on this, they give you an idea of how that is. And this is where the work is, the world is moving into. So I was telling the students in class last week that, look, I can assure you that if it is possible, the next World Cup after Qatar, you can watch it on Metaverse. All you need to do is get the what do you call it, the Google headset, the Metaverse headset, or that AI thing, and you will be watching that walk of life somewhere. A few days ago, I think Justin Bieber hosted a live show on metaverse, and people were watching. Today, people are building and buying properties in metaverse. So if you had studied one nonsense course some years ago, I'm not saying it's nonsense, just for a point of emphasis. Maybe you study English and literary studies somewhere. People that are leading the world, they don't even speak English in the first place. So how are you going to fit into this? That is the question. So artificial intelligence is ruling, and we look at then women in particular and the future of work is where we want to, because today there is an existing gap already, isn't it, in the work system, saying that women are underrepresented in STEM, that is in science, technology, engineering, and maths. So if we continue like this, the gap between men and women in this position is going to get wider. But there is an opportunity to close that gap. And to close that gap means women need to acquire these skills that will make them employable, to make them designable. They'll be able to design these systems, coding and programs, designing and writing. They need to be immersed in this. And more women going into this uh, technology or AI-driven world would only be if you are willing to do so. Otherwise, we'll have more women not being employed in the nearest future. So it is important that if you're a woman, you look at the future and check the issues. I know there are so many issues surrounding the women. That is why this particular course is very interesting. There are so many issues and things affecting women in different places and different societies and cultures. And some of these are societal, cultural, or institutional pervasive barriers that keep women where they are. So breaking out of those things is the focus of these modules. And we argue that there's a growing concern that not acquiring these skills needed at high level professional, scientific, and technical positions will be a problem. And if women don't take part in education, construction, manufacturing, engineering, cybersecurity, for instance, then the gap will remain wider. So what can women do? Women need reskilling, women need mobility, women need to be tech savvy to be able to adapt in the future of work. Details of this will come up much later when we begin to take that module. And if you're interested, I think you'll be able to find it good, either for yourself or for someone else that you might want to refer. The next thing to look at is migration. Migration is becoming more and more interesting these days. People moving up and down because of bad economies in some places, especially in the developing global south. There is some economic systems that are not favorable to people, and people are beginning to migrate. And the question is, when you migrate, you become an immigrant somewhere else. As an immigrant, how do you find your foot on the door or foot on the ground to be able to adapt to that situation? So you need to determine the purpose of migration clearly, not just jumping on the boats on a dinghy somewhere in what do you call it, in Tripoli or in the shores of Libya trying to cross. You need to have a clear understanding of where you are going. You need to know your destination and the work culture in that. So if you come to the UK, the certificate is not what's worked here. I don't think, except in places, there are places that you go, you might not be asked to show certificates. All you need is what can you do? What have you been doing before? Okay, so if you are migrating to maybe the UK or the US and you're a doctor, then is fine. That can be achieved. You come in, okay, you're a doctor, you show your certificate, or maybe you pass some exams to test that you are in the hospital the following month doing it. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to ask you to bring someone to show anything different. So you need to know the destination you are going and what is the culture right there that is about doing. And once you can do, then you'll be good to go. What are the skill and economic integration migrants to work in that place? And then what I call backward connectedness is that sometimes when you travel abroad, you think also about where you come from. How do you take the skills about where you live and give back to the society, either being paid for it or give it for free, whichever way you want to do it? So backward connectedness is part of what we emphasize this module on migration, immigrants, and the future of work. So these are common ones. These are things people know anywhere, that if you need future skills, then you need to be organized. You need to have ability to promote and reward people, communicate effectively. You need to speak more than one language in a way. So speaking one language alone is not good. I think when I was in road safety during the posting of our training in Shagamu, the special posting was given to people who could appreciate any other language like French or Italian or some of those languages. They were posted to better places, working with the commercial offices in Abuja, because they could appreciate any other language in addition to that. So at that point, it wasn't a certificate that was working, it was a skill. So you need that skill, and you need to add value to the market system, okay, to be able to, and you need to work with people. You need people. You just need the right people, not just some nonsense people, not some people who quarrel about. You need people who are cool-headed and know exactly where they are going, and they can help you grow. Okay. Break up, add up some friends, get to know people that are doing things, poke nose into, send them live emails or text messages and say, oh, you've been doing this. Can I learn from you? Don't be shy about it. For me, if I don't know anything, I'll just go out there and ask. I'm not going to consider the age or where this person lives, is that the person can help me get to where I want to. So we also do one-to-one mentoring, that is having to sit down with you and talk over your situation. Okay, if you like that, we could talk about your self-discovery, supporting if you're a student with assignment, dissertation, mapping and referencing, and like I mentioned before, supporting your transitional advice. If you're not comfortable where you are, yes, why are you not comfortable? Well, but what can you offer somewhere else? We can discuss that and show possible ways to which you can go about it. And I've done that severally with some people, with several people, and it has worked. So transitional advice about graduates, if you are graduating from the university for master's, PhD, at any level, postgraduate and undergrads. So the question is, where do you go next? We can discuss that as well and provide, if you sign up, I've told some people who are ambassadors for Gehub that if you need a reference letter, I'll be able to comfortably provide a reference letter. And I've given several people reference letters, and those letters have worked. They've got their jobs, and they tell us, oh, thank you for the reference letter you've given me. But if I don't know you, you cannot on earth ask me to give you a reference letter and I do. It's not going to work. So because my reference letter, it's like me taking an oath that you are who you say you are. Then the last area bit of it is that we focus is entrepreneurship in knowledge economy, because today we live in an economy that is driven by knowledge. People want to market what they know, market their experiences. Okay, so the idea is that you need to be entrepreneurial in marketing or an attempt to market or function in this kind of economy. So what do you know and what can you offer? And what are the infrastructure supporting systems that are available to help drive the delivery of what you know? Okay, that is what we function in a knowledge economy. And we said before now, what used to drive the world in the industrial revolution area, or what they call industrial economy, it was coal and it was iron, or it was fuel or petrol, or what they call crude oil. But today, what is driving the economy is not. So Mark Zuckerberg is not an oil guru. Okay, the guys, the guys who founded Twitter, they are not any of oil gurus or any of these fossil energy gurus, or talk about anybody you want to mention from Amazon, Jeff Bezos, or you want to go to Google, or you want to go to Twitter, mention, you want to go to Apple, all of them, none of them. So it's driven by knowledge and technology. That is the transition that we are going into. And that is why some of us are moving gradually from oil-dependent mindset now to a tech-dependent mindset and knowledge support mindset. And we want to support people to do that. So in this case, we are looking at general introduction to knowledge economy, entrepreneurship in knowledge economy, creating marketing in knowledge economy, scoping and leveraging tech for personal entrepreneurship. And this other one that I major in, which is business strategy and SME management. taking advantage of bad behavior and institutional voids in creating what we call business strategy. There are some places that people have bad behavior. And I give an example without fear of contradiction that in Nigeria, most Nigerians have bad uh, customer service management system. So you talk to somebody, the person say, hey, I'm coming. He's going the other direction. And the person said, wait for me. You wait till tomorrow, and the person never comes. You send an email to organization, they don't respond. Put a call across the organization, they don't respond. And people, customer service. Now, if you understand that alone, and you are able to design your own system to deal with such voids, all right, then or deal with such attitudes, you'll be able to sell what you have. People just like you because you are sincere. When they call you, you smile. You say, "Okay, don't worry. I will look into it. I will take it. I will take care of it. I will take it from you. I will chase it up for you and get back to this person and make customers feel comfortable." Customer management and those are areas we can also develop our businesses about. And CPD for professionals. This is for people who are already working, understanding and managing predictable surprises. What are predictable surprises? And of course, it's difficult if you have done maybe risk management before, you know what a predictable surprise is. A surprise you see coming. You saw it coming. It will still come and hit your head as if you didn't see it. I would say it's a predictable surprise. So we used to ask, is COVID a predictable surprise, or is one of the predictable surprises? Did we not know that COVID was going to come? That's a question. We also have managing a worst case scenarios. So what is the worst case scenario? And when it happens, what do you do in a work environment? And of course, we have a special one designed as a future of work for professionals. So how we do this is that we have a knowledge management partner, which is called Thinkific. Thinkific is a general platform where these courses will be designed and hosted, so that if you want to interact with them at your own time, all you need to do is create an account on Thinkific or go there or come to our own website. You get there and take these courses independently, or you come to the ones that is face-to-face as we are. And what do we do in terms of accreditation and certification? Because we want this to be of highest quality, of international standard. So we are not designing for any society. We're designing our courses for the global consumption. So we're looking at CPD accreditation. So this is the body in the UK that accredits courses. They have to go through the profile of people who design them and what are the materials that we use. And remember, I said our materials are from some of the best archives in the world to help people, and they are from case studies. So they are not some hypothetical theories that you might struggle with. They are case studies of real life events that we use to design and help you. And we use our own experiences to support people in transiting in their academic or professional development or in any business they want to do. So we have those accreditation. You have confidence in what we do. And if you take it, you know that it's coming from a proven fact-checked source. So what can you help us do? And it's a question you might have. You might patronize our webinars. So if you organize webinars, you attend like today, you have come. It is absolutely fine. It's something that we like, something I like, and I owe you some respect. And in fact, really happy that you can tell people about us. If you like what I have said and the things I've listed, you can tell people. You can recommend our services to group of people. It could be ethnic minorities or ethnic majorities. It could be youths and students, SMEs or NGOs. Anywhere you can recommend our trainings, that will be fine. You can sponsor people to attend our webinars. It's not charged. Most of what we do, I'll be doing, will be free. Even if I said pay maybe 1,000 naira or £1 or whatever it is, it's just commitment, so that you know when you don't come, I don't waste all of my time, because time is very important to me. You can share, you can follow and comment on our activities on social media, because of your reputation. If you comment that something is good, some people will see it and believe that, yes, this is good today, you have heard from me. So it gives you a different perspective. When you see Gehub Development College online, you can help us do that. So any other brilliant ways or where you think you can help us would be really, really helpful. We are available on social media. If you want to contact me, my name is there. You can reach me on either on Gmail, on this account, or go to our website. I think Gabriel is still trying to develop that website now. You can check on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. If you have a Facebook group, so if you click on this, let me see if I can put that on. If I click on that Facebook group, it could take me to where the face is. I'll put that on the chat box for you to click. Put this on screen. So I put the Facebook on the chat. If you the Facebook link or the link to our group on Facebook, so I'll be very happy to have you maybe follow us and comment, and maybe let's play around. It's teamwork. Let's ask each other a question, because there's an African proverb that if you go alone, if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, rather go alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. So I'll be very grateful to go all together with all of us and other people that will join along, so that we discuss these things together and make sure we achieve more in life than what we have been now. So thank you for your time. And let's now discuss if you have any questions. I know it's 3 minutes past 11 where I am, and it's 3 minutes past 12 if you're in Nigeria. So I'll be glad to have you ask me questions. I've had Apuya has also joined. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. What I want to do is to stop sharing now, but you can make reference to this at any point in time. Let's now have a conversation. Yes.
My question is, sorry, I'm coming in a little bit late. I joined midway into the discourse. I don't know if you can take a few minutes to, do a quick summary or recap of the discourse at which I wasn't privy to participate in. Sorry, I apologize to other participants that I have to join a little bit late. My time difference, the time difference between my location and yours is what impacted my ability to come in right on time.
Okay.
So if you can grant me the privilege of a few minutes to have an insight into the earlier discourse, I'll be grateful.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for that. I keep that. Now let me know if another person has any questions. So that
Dr. Justin, well done.
Oh, okay, Shola, welcome. Good morning
so thank
to
you.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a very good idea. Well done for that. Mine is just a kind of suggestion. Just before you answer the other question. So my suggestion is that should I put it like a suggestion, a question? What is your plan on adverts?
Marketing.
Yes, marketing. They said that marketing is very important.
Yeah.
You might want to also look into different ways of doing marketing for this program. It's a very nice one. And I'm happy that your focus is you are not focusing on a particular continent of the world, but you are focusing on the global world. So which means anyone from USA, Nigeria, China, they can be part of this global community. So what is your strategy? What are you developing when it comes to marketing? And you also want to consider the social media platform, YouTube ad, Facebook ad, Instagram ad, and so on and so forth. So just to add my own little, I'll be signing out very soon. Just to add to that. Thank you. Well done.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Dr. Justin, can I comment there? Maybe it can, participating in questions can be another source of form of knowledge, getting insight into what was earlier discussed.
Yes, please.
We are now in a global community, we are moving out of the convention, the norms, which was the traditional economy, into a virtual economy. Now, marketing has become much more important in our present era. And we have diverse marketing opportunities available to every entrepreneur or every service provider.
Okay.
Now, because like we talked about the people from China, people from America, people from, like I am in the US, we have opportunity of taking advantage of both the traditional marketing tools and the virtual marketing tools. Because in certain areas where you might have entrepreneurs, students, and all of those people accessing the services, you might not have equal opportunities to resources, meaning that like in Africa, if we have to reach out to Nigeria, you have to take advantage of both the virtual marketing tools and the traditional marketing tools. Before now, people would talk about handbills, flyers, man-to-man discourse. That is like people passing on information. That means you have to give people knowledge, like you're sharing your product knowledge or your service knowledge, all of that. People take it and share with others that would be privy to access resources like that. Oh, I want to acquire this education, or I want to achieve this or buy this product. So, oh, I know about this. You share the knowledge. So one traditional aspect that would impact Africa positively is us taking the message back to our people. It's not every, for those who have an online presence, there are a lot of tools, Facebook, Twitter, like you mentioned, other arms, YouTube, or, even WhatsApp, chatting, Facebook, sharing this information, going to the, encouraging people to visit the website for your organization, your school, or your entity, whatever it is, have first-hand information about what to provide. It's easy to achieve this in a global community where so many people have access to all of these tools. So marketing as it entails in the present economy would still be both traditional and, virtual. Because in certain areas, like I said, Africa, you might have 10%. Let me say, I'm not sure we have 20% presence yet. You might have up to 10% virtual marketing tools, and then some others you might have to take the message to them yourself. So I think that could be an aspect that we'll consider very well. Marketing is easy right now. We still have combine the two marketing economies that we have.
Okay.
So,
all right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that contribution. I think you just helped me in answering the first question about what my marketing strategy is. And I think I've got that question has come from some colleagues. I think Chidi is here. Chidi has one asked me what marketing strategies might take in to drive this. Of course, I have marketing. How I got to get you to come here, number one, is strategy. So think of it. How did I get to drag you in here? That is number one, marketing strategy. Either I reach you on one-on-one, which is word of mouth marketing strategy, or you saw it on Facebook, which is part of social media marketing, or you've seen it maybe on Twitter or somewhere because I've used all the social media. That is one aspect of what we call digital marketing. So these days we use digital marketing. I quite appreciate the fact that you've mentioned the traditional system of reaching out to people, getting this information across to people, which we are going to take because it's not everyone have got access to the internet. As we progress in the future, we're going to have these events organized like workshops or conferences in locations across places, either in the US, if it's organized in the US, if it's in the UK, we organize and rent places where we can. If it's in Nigeria or somewhere else in Zambia, we will do it because we have a global mindset for this. And that is just really serious about it. It's not going to focus on any particular country that I come from, but it's an institution we are building to support people. So we will take these into consideration and put them. What we will do as a strategy is get representatives from different locations so that these people will help us set up these things, especially for face-to-face meetings on ground. We'll get to those cities and deliver this we want to deliver within the time. The only thing is that the cost is different. If you go by a digital system, I can stay in my room the way I am now, and all I want to do is get into Facebook and pay for how much I want that ad to run. I choose a location and allow it to run for a number of days, and most people in that place will see. So we are taking marketing seriously. Thank you for raising that issue. Sylvia said, Justin, I'll be interested in pursuing your strategic continuing professional. Okay, Sylvia, that is fine. Sylvia says she'll be interested in pursuing a strategic continuing professional development as early career researcher. It's important. Yeah, Sylvia, you are good to go. Of course, you don't need anybody to introduce me to you when it comes to that. You were there when we started this PhD or midway and how it has been. So I'll be really, really happy to have you on board to chase that up and to get you set to. I think you are set to go with the experience now to get a job as a full-time lecturer. So your skill sets are all right to get that. So Samuel, please go ahead. You raise your hand.
So I want to talk about the platform, like the Gehub platform. It's more like a community whereby we should also have a landing there. So I'm thinking, I'm also saying that because I raised that the last time we had a meeting like this about the community itself. Is actually not that functioning because I visit the community virtually every week, the platform, and still know people there that are actually communicating. So I don't know if it's possible where we can drag out the people from Facebook, our people from Facebook, Instagram, and all social media down to the platform where we could have the group, because I saw the arrangement where they have different groups where you could join. Yeah, the different group maybe should be based on either the course of study and what you are about, what you want, that is your desire, what you want to do. Maybe you want to do digital marketing, or you want to do real estate, depending on where you want to land yourself in. Then from there, you could connect with people all over the country and interact with them, talk to them, and learn more things about what you are after. So I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Sam, for raising that. What we're doing at the moment is, I don't think it's Gabriel is here or is left. I've spoken with Gabriel, who is our IT engineer, to reform the entire website. We are taking some things out there because we want to restructure and focus all of this. So if you go at the moment, I'm not sure if it is available. We try, because we take off the security from the website. So it's not really available now to most people. So if you click on it, it will tell you that you are trying to, it will notify me that someone is trying to join illegally because the security system has been removed from there. So Gabriel is working on that. Once that is done, then we'll begin to build on those relevant communities that you have, and we'll continue the conversation. And as we are building this engagement from here, we'll now drag people to it. We have different segments, and provide that bespoke support to people, and that will come under our second bit, which is entrepreneurship development. Okay, so thank you for raising that. It's a point well noted. Write that down and see what we will do going forward.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Sunday's hand is up.
Good afternoon, Dr. Justin.
Good afternoon, Sunday.
Thank you for the great session. They were really, really highly insightful. I think I got a few insights from all the data and information you gave. So a quick one. I just want to. I think one other way to market is by getting the emails. email marketing. Because I know there was a training I did recently. I think I made up my mind to do that training because of the emails I was getting, like the weekly emails I was getting from this particular brand, not really talking about what they offer, but they were giving some a really few infos and data, or like articles.
Sorry, I think Sunday is having a hitch in transmission there. Um, so I'll just wait. Okay, when Sunday joins, I think, yeah, emailing is part of digital marketing, but it's very important that we adopt. So what we have started doing recently, what I've started doing recently is collecting data or emailing from people. Then that was one of the announcements I was going to make, that you can drop your email now with us, and so that we will begin to compile them. And if you have any information, we send directly to your email. And later on, if you live in Nigeria, I think Gabriel has used that to help us before, is when Gabriel was able to send, I think, SMS, it's what they call bulk SMS. Gabriel did that for us last year when we hosted the workshop. So we will use emailing. We will also use bulk SMS in sending to people that we have them. If we have people even in the US, I think what he was, yeah, there's a way he can even send to international numbers. He tried that in a way. Yeah, so thank you so much. I think when he comes back, he will be able to finish his point. One thing I promised that I was going to do some giveaway, and that giveaway, unfortunately, it's not going to benefit people like Edward who live in the US. It's going to benefit mostly people who join us from Nigeria. So you
Sorry,
can also.
Rather than Edward, I don't know if my name shows as Edward. Let me change it. My name is Apuye.
That's what I'm saying here. So I just want to.
Apuye, not Edward. Edward does not have an identity. Apuye creates an identity for me.
Okay, that's what is showing on your screen. So I decided to use
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
Because when I say Apuye, nobody will know who I'm referring to.
Yeah. Let me see. It looks like I may not change it easily right now.
So if you have a Niger number, you can just type that same number in. Or if you have a relative that lives in Nigeria and you want to send SMS to, sorry, not SMS, what we call airtime or top up, or call it whatever name, put in your number, and I'll be able to do a giveaway to that number. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
yeah, that
I think let me just add briefly to that. Okay, just permit me 1 minute, please. I think
okay, go ahead.
If you look at bulk SMS, is becoming obsolete and updated. It's not that it's not a tool to access and use, we still use it. But with Twitter, Facebook, and all of that, things have become much more easier adopting the bulk SMS presence. I mean, way of reaching out. If you look at Facebook, for instance, you can tell me that you can agree with me that 90% of the people we know have Facebook presence.
Okay.
So if 90% of the people we know have Facebook presence, and we're looking at adopting the traditional way of reaching out, in the virtual economy, there's still the traditional way, which means each one of us will now go back and say, okay, we share the link to the Gehub website on our Facebook pages, and as many times as it's come, you keep sharing. That's how it reaches out to all the friends and relatives and associates on your Facebook page. That's just like sending a bulk SMS, because once you share it, it goes to everybody on your page. So if everyone goes back with the commitment to saying, oh, I found something beautiful, I found something that I feel would impact you positively, tomorrow we'll go back and say, look, I've gained some knowledge. I have this knowledge of this. I want to share with you on our platform. Once we share it on our platform, automatically everybody gets to see it. And two, the IT team, once they fully take off, things become easier. But because in every organization, there's a team that is empowered or has the description, the job description to deal with all of this. So the IT team will know how to deal with the virtual economy aspect of marketing. Like Facebook gives you the opportunity of throwing out the number. If you want to reach out to 2,500 people every hour, every second, every day, globally, Facebook gives you that opportunity. And I think that other arms, other Twitter and the rest have marketing. I see WhatsApp having business tools and all of those things. So it's a lot more easier. You just need to maybe like $5 from America, and you can reach up to 5,000, 2,500, 5,000 people. So it's something that we can even get back to our drawing board. In Nigeria, it's like in Nigeria is about five naira daily. So these are things that some of us who appreciate this and want to reach out to other people, you can just take over 500 naira and just throw it and just say, okay, let me just promote this. It's a commitment. It's like giving back to a community. You know, we talked about community forum. Nobody's going to say, oh, you have to do this. But like giving back to the community, that you want to reach out to your people and let your friends and associates and let them know. You just wake up one day and just throw a 500 naira. I think we're about 17 of us. So if you throw a 500 naira every day and I throw a 500 naira like a day, we would have thrown away 500. I'm not saying that all of us here are going to be committed. So I'm just supporting what Dr. Justin said, to say that, okay, marketing has become much more easier. That with 500 naira from Nigeria, I am an entrepreneur. I'm an agripreneur. I have been into construction business. I started a construction firm with 1,500 naira. You won't believe it. I wouldn't have been in America without starting a bag of cement, and it became a known construction outfit. I promoted a technology that was quite unique. Nobody knew what it was, but I was able to put it in the minds of people and let people accept it. I adopted these marketing tools. Currently, I'm in an agripreneur, and I'm working on a material called how to manage, looking at how global business management. People believe that you can't manage an entity successfully.
Okay, just 1 second. If you've thrown in your number for this top up giveaway, just tell me the network that it is so that I don't get confused, please. And of course, if you rejoin or you have someone who want to collect this airtime, please do. I have enough here to give to people. So go ahead.
So briefly, what I was saying is the mandate will be more of the IT team to adopt tools because they are professionally oriented to deal with that. And then all of us is an effort that all of us must stay committed on. We want to achieve this aspect of developing our communities. For those of us who are in the global, who are away from home, we know that support comes. We support our communities by giving back. We have knowledge of it, we take it out. We use like Facebook. Every platform that you are, just share the information, and that's how it spreads. Before you discover, you're there, and people can come back to say, "Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you shared this information with me. I've gained this knowledge." So let's take it back to our community. Let's reach out. Share it on your Facebook platforms. Share it on your Twitter. That's how to enlarge, to widen the scope of our reach and all of that. I like it. I'm going to spread it around America. I'm going to share it on my Facebook page. I think I enjoy everything that has to do with entrepreneurship development. So I'm freaky crazy about it because I'm going to develop myself. I might be the first. I'm definitely going to be the first student.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. For that, I really appreciate your time and your contribution. Very, very important. So if I get back to now your first question, just to say again that if you send me, I think someone has sent airtime, that's from Samuel, that I have taken care of. Ugo Michael, tell me what that number is, if it is Airtel or any network. Chidi, also please let me know what that network is. If you have, I'll be grateful that is done. Okay. Ugo Michael, thanks and well done. Was work well done. Thank you, Justin. Okay, Airtel, Ugo Michael, I will take care of that. Okay. Just to, because you asked a question from the beginning, I promised I was going to answer. So the essence of today was to introduce to you, just to let you know again that this is on YouTube. So you can, if you go to YouTube and type my name, you will see the whole of recordings for today is right there right now, and it's been recorded. Okay, it's available. But to answer the question directly, is that I wanted to introduce the training suits that we have, some of the trainings that are available. If you recall, I've discussed about personal development and discovery of branding, continuing professional development, mentoring, academic skills that are available, introduction to the future of work, women and the future of work, migration, immigrants and the future of work, entrepreneurship in knowledge economy, trends and predictable surprises, managing worst case scenarios. And we said our target is students, graduates, and people in their early careers. And early careers doesn't mean that if you are just starting your job, even if you have been in the job for some time and you think it's all right to switch and you're thinking about that, we can have a conversation and we discuss how you can migrate from a job to another that will become more beneficial. The jobs pay different things. So some people, there are some jobs that they will give you access to a car, maybe let's say they give you you have access to a car, you have access to health insurance, for instance, so you have access to many days of leaves and different things at different places, and then you can work from home, you can share your job, and the other place you are just fixed and tight and the pay is not well, there's no flexibility. So different things affect people, and for me, I've always been that once I acquire the right skills, I don't see any reason why you remain in one place and begin to struggle with one employer. I should be able to find a better place that either pays better or something else is done. So those are the things we discussed today in brief. Maybe later on I'll still talk you through, because I had slides. If you want, I'll still share these slides with you and you see exactly step by step the things that we talked about. Is that
Thank
okay?
you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's what we have. Ugo Michael, I've said this MTN. So if you send, let me know what it is. So I will be able to. If you have received, you can send a confirmation that you have received your own top up. Ugo Michael said is MTN. So just bear with me. I want to do it immediately, because if we shut down and go, we won't be able. But if you still have any question or contribution, feel free to let us know where we can help.
Quick question, sir, to the forum. Is there anybody, this is marketing that I'm about to take into. Do we have anybody who studied agriculture who is looking for a job? Somebody who studied agriculture, who is proactive, who is focused, who is serious-minded, who wants to be a different Nigerian, you know, who wants to change the perception of what people have about Nigeria. Means that you're focused, you're serious, you're looking at the future other than today. That means you're not looking at, oh, I have an opportunity, let me grab this, or let me take this away, let me do this. But you're focused on developing whatever job description you're given to grow along. You know, if we have somebody who studied agriculture, please reach out to Dr. Justin. I don't know, it may not be easy to get to me, but I think if you get to Dr. Justin, he will help me get the person across. We have a job vacancy somewhere for a farm manager, and a farm manager, or a group general manager.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you so much for that advert. Where can you give us a location?
Yeah, it's gonna be in Akure in Ogun State. It's gonna be running between Ogun State and Cross River State. The factory is a vegetable oil processing factory under construction. So the farm is what is needed right now. So between the second quarter of this year, the factory will start. So probably the person will be moving fully back to the factory and would have the mandate to develop a supervisor that would be able to work with him to manage the farm effectively while he's away. He can only move back and forth once in a while to supervise. But in a global economy, you have video conferencing and youth, all of that he can share with the supervisor there. So we have two locations. We have in Cross River, and there are two locations, Cross River and Ondo State. So, but for now, temporarily, he'll be resident in Ondo State.
Okay, that sounds
Akure. Yeah.
Akure. Okay, that sounds good. So anyone else? Okay, I want to welcome my colleague, senior colleague and friend, Dr. Victor Isidore. Victor is a consultant and well-established in career development and planning from Nottingham Business School. So really nice to have you. And if you have a word or two to say, we'll be very grateful, sir. Victor.
Thank you so much, Justin. I was running late, so I needed to attend to some family matters and also chatting to you guys from home. You know, there were some distractions at the beginning, so I couldn't make it at the beginning, but I'm here today. As Justin mentioned, I am into career development and career planning, and I have a certificate in career planning. So I am also a career advisor. At Nottingham Business School, I teach personal and academic development, which also has to do with career development and career planning and all of that. So I don't know, Justin, is it okay for me to talk about this topic now, or?
Yeah, just briefly talk about developing your experiences and how it will help support people going forward. That will be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. So I'm going to proceed from the introduction to the topic I want to talk about today. So it's about developing personal plans for the future. Now, personal development is not something that's meant for students only. It's also meant for some of us who are already adults. And in terms of personal development, we could be looking at things like career change. When we want to change from one career to another career, we begin to look at our development needs. So at that point in time, we begin to look at those things that we already have and the things that we need to work on to improve ourselves. So in terms of personal development, there are two aspects of the personal development that I'm going to talk about. The first one I'm going to talk about is what we call the skills needs identification. So, which is the very first stage of personal development. And then after that, I'm going to be talking about the skills development. So the first one is skills need identification. And then the second part is skills development, because first of all, you need to identify the skills that you need. And then after that, you need to then look for ways to develop those skills. So at MBS, Nottingham Business School, where I am, and also Justin is there as well, we look at how students are able to identify their strengths and their weaknesses. So we take them through some psychometric testing, where they do a lot of psychometric tests to understand their strengths and their weaknesses. Now, one of those psychometric tests that we take them through is the Belbin psychometric test, which is also for them to be able to know their team roles. And we also take them through other psychometric tests like the Myers-Briggs and also some other ones, including areas like political compass, which we also encourage them to look at. Now, the first part of the personal development is for you to, first of all, identify the needs that your skills need. So when you do the psychometric testing, you're able to identify those gaps in your skills development. And then you begin to work on how to develop those gaps. For example, once you've been able to know what your strengths are, you should be able to use the knowledge of your strength to be able to use that to your advantage. And then those other areas where you have weaknesses, those are the areas you now begin to look for how to develop yourself. So that takes us now to the second stage of personal development, which is the skills development. Because first of all, you need to first of all deal with the skills need identification, and then after that, you move on to talk about the skills development. So when we talk about skills development, you begin to look at those areas that you have already identified and set them as your goal. So those goals that you have set as a result of the weaknesses that you have identified and the strengths you have identified will be able to help you to tailor some online courses and some sessions, some of them in-person sessions that you could attend to develop yourself. In some cases, it could require you to actually undertake a new course, especially those ones that have to do with a career change. For example, you are looking to move from engineering to management. So you might want to take some longer courses to be able to develop that skill, because you have already identified a need, a skills need that you need to focus on. So these are the main things that we cover at Nottingham Business School. And also, Justin has this idea to build an online college where courses will be delivered online. And he's mentioned to me that he's going to be able to include something like this as part of the courses that he's going to be delivering. So I'm going to leave it here for now and then see if anyone has any question. And then I can talk more on it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your coming and your time. So I appreciate really. So these are the people that taught me in the first place when I went to the business school, and then to learn from some people who have been there before. And everyone has got a mentor. So there are the people who said, hey, this is how we need to start this business. So I'm really happy to have learned from you and other people, and together, like I told you before, that we work together to achieve more. It's difficult if you want to go alone. So if you go with people, you learn faster, you'll achieve faster, and you get to where you want to go really on time and feel comfortable. And that is what we have adopted, working with people. Don't go alone. So if you were to make 1 million naira for yourself alone, you can make the same 1 million naira when you work with another person who has a value of adding 1 million naira. So you make 2 million naira, it's the same thing, and the work is shared between you and that person. It becomes lighter, and so it's what we want to. Just to say, towards the end, I think I've been able to send 8 times to people that submitted their numbers. If you have not, don't be offended. Just let me know that I've missed your number, and it has to do with your number and the name of the network, so that I know that is done. If in the absence of any other,
I have a question. I have a question for Dr. Victor.
Okay, yes. Okay, please.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Victor.
Thank you, Edward.
When I grow up, I think I want to be like you. However, being a typical Nigerian, I'm concerned about what potentials how the potential implication positively for people like us back in Nigeria, where there's no you come out of school, there's no education. I mean, there's no employment, and the skill sets. Institutions like these are not available to provide the skill set that is needed to take us to to shift our thinking, our psyche from civil service to, commercialization of our skills, entrepreneurship, So I'm looking at how do you think this could impact our communities where we have a teeming number of youths coming out of school? There's no employment, there's no support system to guarantee employment in the future. I'm a living testimony to that. But I think that not all of us are built with, like you said, the same strengths to be able to say, oh, I have to take my destiny by my hand and move. So how can this impact our people to be able to think that developing your skills or doing this, how can they identify, how can this help them identify their inner strength? Because I'm one person who believes that there's a drop of a hero in everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm one person with, I used to describe myself as one man with diverse academic background and exploits. I've had degrees in 4 different fields: accounting, social work, now cybersecurity, and all of that in different. I've not had one progression in, maybe I studied my first was an accounting. I say my master's in accounting, PhD. No, it's been in diverse field, because as I see opportunities, I twist towards that.
Yeah.
So how can this, as a professional, how do you think our people can take advantage of this and develop that skill so that we can move from depending on excessive dependence on civil service to an economy where it becomes entrepreneurship, capitalist oriented or entrepreneurship oriented? Because I know that most economy globally that are doing well are not dependent on government. They're dependent, a government depend on them to create employment.
Okay. Yeah. So Edward, thank you so much for your question. And in fact, you touched quite a lot of areas. So I'm just kind of like thinking how I'm going to navigate through all of them quickly. Yeah. You said you have a multi-background. Okay. Now, let me put it to you that is an advantage. Okay. That is an advantage that you have over others who don't have what you have. Now, I came to learn that the more diverse skills that you have, the more employable that you become.
Absolutely.
Like myself, I started off as an engineer. I studied sciences all the way, studied engineering up to 3rd year. I had to leave that university and went to another university and started studying political science from scratch, and then graduated with political science, went to do my master's in business management, and then somewhere in the middle, I did career development. And then my PhD was in stakeholder management. So you could see there are different areas, political science, business, engineering, that are now part of me. And I can talk about these areas whenever I come across them. So I would say that you are in a better position to exploit those opportunities around you. So we would encourage people to have diverse skills and knowledge in different areas. Now, you asked me about people who are in Nigeria who are disadvantaged, because of the socioeconomic situation in Nigeria. How would they be able to access this kind of information? Okay, now, if you look at what we are talking about now, Justin is building a platform where people could develop new skills, okay? And this platform, hopefully, once it's launched, you could be able to find some courses that people could do to move away from one career to another career and even start up a new career entirely. So all of these things are the visions that someone like Justin has come up with, and he's working on it. And this is the beginning of it. Hopefully, when these projects are running, then you begin to see opportunities for people in Nigeria, our own people in Nigeria, who will be able to take advantage of that. Now, I am also working on a project, okay, but this project is only for people with PhDs. My own project has to do with a platform, a website where people could register their profiles and put their information so that they'll be able to use their PhDs for consultancy. Because I'm also a registered consultant here in the UK because I'm a member of the Institute of Consulting. So I understand what it means to be able to use the knowledge that you have to do consultancy. So if you're a PhD holder, you should be able to consult while you are doing your practice as an academic. So this is something that most people have not been doing. And especially in developing countries, for example, in Nigeria, a lot of people have a lot of knowledge. They've been teaching for about 20 years. But everything just ends with going to the classroom to teach. So if a platform like these ones we are talking about are made available to people, then they'll be able to explore those opportunities and then use that to gain advantage for themselves. So I don't know if I missed out on, because I'm looking at the time as well. I don't know if I missed out on any of your questions, Edward.
No, that's so nice. In fact, you have even gone beyond and have captured my interest in. I'll reach out to. I hope I'll be able to. Sorry, I didn't log in on my laptop. I ran behind time. I was behind time too. I would want to discuss with you about the last item you mentioned.
Yeah.
Your projects, like to add to what is your ability to see opportunities and cash in is one thing that could, help one, to expand your tentacle to get your reach and grow, So I might want us to talk.
Yeah, if you want to catch up with me, you can get me on LinkedIn. Victor with double T. You can see my name on the screen. Victor with double T and Isidore.
I think your number is here, or I'll just I have your. I might get your number from Justin, from Dr.
That's
Justin,
fine.
and then we'll discuss.
Yeah, I wanted to add one more. Yeah, Edward, thank you. I wanted to add one more to it because there was another area that you mentioned, people in Nigeria and how they'll be able to navigate around the whole system. Yeah. Now, I think we have access to internet. I know it's more costly in Nigeria, but the main thing that you need, especially at this digital age, is an internet.
Yeah.
You need an internet. I met a young man who was trying to scam me. I was on social media. He sent me a message and he pretended to be a woman. And so when I saw that it's a guy pretending to be, I decided to play along. So we got to a point, I just told him that I just switched the conversation. I said to him, guy, stop what you're doing. This job doesn't pay. And then he said to me, what do you mean by that? I started writing in Nigerian pidgin to him. And then at one point, he opened up and said to me that things are hard. So I said to him, well, it's good that we have this conversation. He said to me, what would he do to be able to make it? I said to him, you have internet and you have knowledge of the computer. Why not learn how to be a content developer, to write contents for websites? Because you are very intelligent. You were able to try to convince me, if not that I know myself, you are trying to convince me that you are a woman. So which means you are smart. You have knowledge inside of you. So you could use that to develop web contents for people and even to learn to develop new websites. Because there are some universities now offering online courses free of charge. The Open University is offering some online courses. If you go to America, I think they have Harvard is also offering some short online courses. And people can take advantage of these courses.
And there's the People's University. People's University in America. People's University offers up to master's free or PhD or something.
And all these things, you do them online. So I said to him, this is what you need to do. Because there's a lot of money in content development, a lot of money in web development, and a lot of people are cashing in. So if you are so smart to be able to do all these things you are doing, trying to manipulate people to get something from them, then you could do it. And then after that, he thanked me. So the whole conversation just changed completely because I knew, so sometimes it's like that. You simply need the internet is key. So you start with having an internet. Once you have access to the internet, you can do a lot of things. The Prince of Saudi, I forgot his name now. This guy is building something called the Neom City. Now, the idea of the Neom City is also to build a university where they will have no academics on site, but all academics will be from different locations and they will deliver lectures through hologram. So these are new technologies coming up. As long as we are able to keep ourselves up to date with technology, then we shouldn't be lacking in most of these things. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Edward.
So yeah.
Nice talking with you.
My pleasure.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for adding up until now and joining. I've sent now the airtime, or what do you call it, top up or giveaway to all numbers. I only send to people that are here. So if you send me a number of someone who is not here, I will take one number from you. If you send two, I'm not going to take two. So I only take the number representing people that are here. So pardon me for that. If you invite people unable to join, that I will do and send them, all of them, until the number that I had in mind too. So that has now ended. I believe for those who are here, be able to get the airtime top up, or your representative, if you have sent, has been able to get. So in a way, that has been sorted. My idea generally is that going forward, we will scale this up. If you leave, let's say someone in Zambia join, and I cannot send airtime to Zambia, we can step that up into something that will be reasonable, so that we do maybe a PayPal, or we use any means of which is that we can send the money to someone who lives outside Nigeria, who lives in a different country. So we'll be doing some more kind of giveaways. I've sent my number. That number is there in the chat box. Please, if you can copy it and send me your email through it, I'll compile it. I'm not going to send, I'm not going to create a WhatsApp group. All I need to do is have your number and your email saved somewhere, and I will broadcast this directly to your emails. And if I have your WhatsApp, then I can come one-to-one. So I'm going to use that in the meantime. I've also shared our Facebook link. So if you scroll up right here, click on it, you'll see Gehub Development College. Click on it and maybe like the page, or follow the page. In that case, whatever I share on that page, you'll be able to see it, and we will communicate through that means. So there are different ways we can now. So there's no need anyone say that you miss it. So give us time. Tell people about us. We have a reward system. We also have a Gehub for students, where if you're a student studying or you're a graduate, you can join. And we have that community is on Facebook now. So if you're my friend on Facebook, maybe or not, you can look for Gehub graduates and student hub. It's available. I'll share with you and put you there. So we want to build that community. So in the future, we intend to also give scholarships or stipends or anything to support graduate and student that will sign up to our event. If we're going to do that weekly or two, until we're able to launch this online for people to start taking. And you can book one-to-one with us. And the one-to-one is not general, it's people who sign up that can book a one-to-one and have me to sit down and talk to them, because there's just no time. So that's what we'll be doing. Thank you so much for joining, and for those who are able to help me invite people, I really appreciate. Ugo Michael, I don't know you too well. Maybe someone introduced this to you, or you saw it on Facebook. Samuel Eba, somebody, did you ask a question lastly? Sylvia, Isaac, Chidi, Chomi, Officer Joe, Joshua. Thank you, all of you, for joining. I really appreciate it. We have taken 2 hours instead of 1. Really appreciate that, and pardon me for that mistake. So thank you so much, guys, and do have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Dr. Justin. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for the
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye. Thank you, Victor, for that interesting talk as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.